all my viewers, my friend, you are most welcome on my channel. That is, I hope you will describe or you will subscribe my channel and put the bell icon. So now is our topic is Jihad. What is Jihad? Jihad is an Islamic term which denote the killing of Kaffirs or looted the wealth of the Kaffirs or looted the women of Kaffirs and looted the uh, horses are used to kafir in the war as the time of Prophet Muhammad. This is known as jihad. Jihad means a religious war against those who are not following the Islamic doctrine. That is kafirs, as in India, Hindus, Christians, Jews, and so on. So jihad, what is the demerits of jihad and what is the benefits of jihad to the Muslims? There is no benefit from the jihad, no to Muslims, none to non-Muslims, because jihad is that theory which is demoralize the logical rational Muslims because they are the items or commodity of hate among the non-Muslims or Kafirs. This is why everywhere, if a Muslim is sitting with you in the train, bus, or even flight, certainly your sixth sense realized that this person is not good, but this is not true. We cannot spread hate any Muslim because they are human beings. Our motto is not to spreading or hate against the Muslim or demoralizing Muslims because they are the all human beings and they are very near and dear to us. So it is not motto of mine that I want to spread the hate against the Muslim. This is not my motto. My motto is that we may segregate the violent Islamic doctrine against the Muslims. Whatever we can do, the segregation between the Islam and the Muslims, those are the good peoples. Why they are following the such doctrine or violent doctrine of Islam, in which many verses are so lethal to them, even Muslims, women, and to the non-Muslims or kafir. You see, to be jihad was committed by Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions due to only some their Western interest. As jihad, the war captive as a sex slave, concubine, killing of kafirs, and the ransom tax that is known as jizya tax. To collect this tax is known as jihad. So basically, jihad is against the humanity, and overall, this is very cruel action of those Muslims who are propagating this violence in the name of jihad. Though this is not prime issue of any Muslims to combat with the theory of jihad, but because this theory was propagated by the Islamic prophet, the last prophet of Islam, as per their doctrine and Allah, that jihad is it is essential a religious war against the non-Muslims or kafir. So this is compulsion of these idiotic and the fanatic Muslims who are propagating violence and terrorism against the non-Muslim or kafir due to the only jihad. So jihad was propagated by Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions, means the originator of or the fostering father of this jihad is Prophet Muhammad Sahib. So all credit goes to Prophet Muhammad Sahib, whether it is bad or good. in the eye of humanity, it is a totally unrealistic, inhuman in nature, and very, very fatal to the civil society of this world. So jihad is that war which is very, very against the normal values of human beings and the civil society of the human beings. It is very amazing. All the Islamic country are committing that jihad is a religious war, and I am amazed that why these all Islamic countries, the part of the United Nations of organization and the part of the Human Rights Committee of the United Nations organization, because there is even a single lesson for humanity in Quran against the Kafir not available in the description of any Islamic Quran or Hadith. So this is the reality of the jihad. Jihad in the broad sense is a cruel war with brutality against the Kafir's women, and jihad propagated the rapes. There was no rape in India when there was no Islam here. When these all Arab invaders and Turkish invaders, Uzbekistan, most of them are Turkish, came to India or the Indian subcontinent, including Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. These barbaric Arabic invaders, because they are propagating a theory of Islamic doctrine of propagated by the Prophet Muhammad and his companion. So they are doing the same because they are in much more profit due to they could ship or they could have the woman or snatch the woman from the Kaffirs and dear wealth and destructed the temples in India and looted away the money and returned back to their countries. And many of them were settled in India as the slave dynasty, Khilji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid Lodi and Mughal dynasty. These are all are invaders from the outside of the Indian subcontinent. So jihad theory is very, very against the humanity, and this is the brutality against the non-Muslims or Kaffirs. So our prime question, we are not spreading hate against the Muslims, but we want that the Muslims must come out this Islamic violent jihadi theory, because this theory cannot be run now in this civil society. So it is our duty to try to teach the Muslims to please come out from this theory, because hate spreading cannot be a part of any religion, and the Islam is the solely responsible of the hate speech and hate spreading uh, against the Kafirs. And the Nupur Sharma, I think Nupur Sharma was had stated the same correct as per Quran and Hadith. So there is no question arrived, arise that this is the question of insult of Prophet Muhammad Sahib, because Prophet Muhammad Sahib married to a girl named Aisha in the age of 6, and she was consummated by her marriage with Prophet Muhammad Sahib at the age of 9, whereas the Muhammad Sahib more than 54 years, and at the time of marriage he was 51 plus. So this is not the way. So age difference must be of an icon. Who is icon of 160 million Muslims in this world? And so this idiotic and foolishness of the so-called terrorists, which are creating nuisance and havoc in this society in the name of Islam. Though Islam is itself is a synonymous of terrorism against the kafir, there is no, I have no hesitation to say that Islamic doctrine propagated, yeah, or is propagating the violence, hate, and killings of the kafirs. As you see in India, Mr. Kanhaiyanal was silted by their neck, Kamlesh Tiwari, and so many were silted by their neck by the Muslims or the Islamic Jihadi terrorist. So my question arises, my question is that why kafir are so filthy or they lower than to the beast or animals? This is described in the Quran and Hadith that the non-Muslim kafirs have no right to live along with the Muslims. As you see, the Zoroastrians were brutally killed and murdered by these Islamic jihadists. In the Persia, now Iran, Mesopotamia, the Iraq, and the northern Afghanistan was the part of the Zoroastrians' majority land. But those people are screaming that the Hindus are going to be intolerant. This is not correct. If Hindu or Sanatan Vedic culture was so intolerant, why these all Zoroastrians and Jews came to India, took asylum in this country? Because Sanatan Vedic always respect all the people. But this Islam does not respect to any Kafirs or any non-Muslim. This is the major difference between the Sanatan Vedic culture and the Islam. Islam is totally against the humanity and it propagated the brutality, bloodbath, loots and rape. The prime invention of the Islam is rape under IPC section 376, killing under IPC section 302, and robbery, looting, death section 151B. So many IPC can be imposed on Prophet Muhammad Sahib deeds or their followers deed, which Muslims are distorting the law and order in India. They are treating with these IPC sections. So if the Muhammad Sahib, suppose he was alive in India, yeah, he is alive in India, all the section must be imposed on Prophet Muhammad Sahib, all the IPC section 376, 302 and many others, who is punishable act in the Indian Penal Code. So we see there is no question arise. There is no question arise that any Muslim can a non-Muslim as a kafir. Who has given right to these Muslims? Who are you to call the kafirs, non-Muslim as kafir? Who are you? Have you any power to call the kafirs or Hindus as kafirs or Christian as kafirs or Jews as kafirs? Why this security reflect in your brain? Though your brains which are following such brutal, violent ideology are full of straw. And because there is no logic in the Islam, so the brain of the followers of Islam is full of garbage. This is why these demons as Taliban are the modern demons, are killing the innocent non-Muslims, even Shiite people. Those are the second largest sect of the Islam, that is Shiite or the followers of Hazrat Ali, the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad Sahib. Whenever the Prophet son-in-law could be can be killed by these Islamic followers, so you can imagine that what is the brain level of these Islamic fanatics. In Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, this fight not only for Kashmir, but this is this fight is only to establish a Sharia law or Kashmir land converted into a Darul Islam. So this theory is very visual theory. This is Islamic doctrine. We are never against the Muslims, but we are solely and hardly and with externally against this violent doctrine of Islam, because Islamic doctrine is not respect the human values, but this doctrine is just like demons followed this doctrine as the in Hindi Rakshas and the Ravan. The same did the Ravan as these fanatic Islamic terrorists are doing against the non-Muslims of Kafir throughout the world. In everywhere there these are so demons are settled, they are disturbing the whole humanity and the non-Muslims, not only non-Muslims but the ex-Muslims also. And these demons, these Jihadi demons are trying to kill the Murtad or the ex-Muslim all over the world. Even in India, many ex-Muslim are under threat of these demons. So it is very amazingly that Mali Ganimat means loot or robbery certified by Islam. And what inhibits in the loot? The women, the armed ammunitions, the horses, the camels, and all equipments which are used in the war. And if the Muslim, suppose Muslim won the war at this time, and as per Islamic doctrine, all the women of that country who was defeated by the Muslim army will be the slave of that Muslim army, and the each slave woman will be distributed to the Muslim soldiers as did by Prophet Muhammad Sahib's companion. So Male Ganimat is certified in Islam, and no country Islamic scholar, no no condemnation or none of the Muslim condemned it that this is brutality against the humanities. The human values does not respected by the Islamic followers ever for since inception of the Islam. So all this process, Malik Ganimat is only was for propagated to increase the number of income of the Muslims by hook and crook. And this is the notion of Islamic scholar or Islamic followers or their inner views or their thinking that the Islam will be spread throughout the world, or it is possible as they think, but it is very, very impossible because none of the theory which is against the humanity cannot survive. Or in the earlier, you see this Genghis Khan, Hitler, and many other Napoleon's policy never be survived due to the modernization of civilization or systemization of law. If law inhibits in any country, there is no question arise the spreading of Islam, which is very, very inhuman and which is very, very inhuman and very treacherous ideology against the Kafir. It is very amazing that all the Islamic country are following such Islamic doctrine, and the minorities are very, very unsafe in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and any other Islamic countries because the non-Muslims have no rights to live in freedom, to worship in an open place, or even the Saudi Arabia, you cannot worship or follow their religion openly. If suppose you are worshiping inside your room, if you will be caught by the religious police of the Saudi Arabia, they will apprehend you and send to prison for 3 or 6 months. This is the treacherousness or this is the human nature of the Islam and its doctrine and its follower. So my appeal to all Muslims, please peep into inside your heart and think if this process will be reversed, means inclined toward the Muslim. Suppose a Muslim army lose the battle against the non-Muslim or Kaffirs, certainly Muslim want that their women, Muslim women, will be work captive or they can be a sex slave or raped by the non-Muslim. Certainly not. If you are not happy with this situation, then why are doing the such brutal and treacherous crime against the Kafir woman? And why did the Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions did such type of crime or punishable act? Because all the Jewish women were raped by these Islamic terrorists. So I would like to say that Islam is the synonymous of terrorism against the Kafir because it does not respect the women of the Kafirs, and even in Islam the rape with the Kafir woman is permitted. This is why so many Hindu women committed zohar or self-immolation due to the fear of molestation and save their honors. So the history of Islam is a stigma on the history. Islamic history is the stigma on the civilization, and Islam is very, very against the civilization and civic society. This is a barbaric ideology against the non-Muslim or Kafir. And United Nations organization is also a hypocritic organization which want to pass the resolution in the United Nations organization that there is no Islamophobia, and the people are feeling that the Islam is bad. People are not feeling that Islam bad or good. No question arises Islam is bad or good. But the question is that why the Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions committed so heinous crime against the Kaffirs or Jews. Prophet Muhammad and his companions looted the wealth of Abu Sufyan tribe. That was the chief of the Quraysh tribe, which is the mother tribe of Prophet Muhammad Sahib. But Prophet Muhammad Sahib never sighed to looted the caravan of the Abu Sufyan of its own Quraysh tribe. So this is not good work. So jihad is not a religious war, but it is a war against the humanity, and it is the war for robbery, collecting the money, extortion tax, jizya, and destruct the temples, synagogue, fire temples, and the sun temples. As you see in the previous history, I have read the whole history since inception of the history, the modern history, the ancient history, and the medieval history. The medieval history of India is full of bloodbath and the treacherousness of the Islamic doctrine or violent Islamic jihad. So you see, one university, the Nalanda University, was destroyed by Bakhtiar bin Khilji in Nalanda, in Bihar, and it is very, very shame to our Indian pride that a railway station name as Bakhtiarpur in the Bihar. So Mr. Nitish Kumar must see this hypocrisy or Nitish Kumar's hypocrisy. He do not want to change the name of the railway station of the Bakhtiarpur. It is very, very possible if Bihar people, the kind-hearted and the most intelligent people of Bihar will retain BJP in full majority in next election. Certainly, the elimination of the Bakhtiarpur railway station name will be changed as the Nalanda Vihar or Nalandapur. I think Nalanda Vihar. the best name for this Bakhtiarpur railway station, Nalanda Bihar. So these pseudo-secular leaders, those are Hindus, are very treacherous and very against the Hindus. And due to these pseudo-secular leaders, this Islamic doctrine or Islamic terrorism is enhancing very rapidly, because these peoples, as Mulayam Singh, Akhilesh Yadav, and Mayawati, and so many on, escorted these Islamic goons in this country, as Mukhtar Ansari, Atiq Ahmad, and so on. One demon was killed by corona, Mr. Sabuddin, and these all are the allies of the Lalu Prasad Yadav. So you can see how these Hindu politicians are very against the unity, because if you support the Islam, you cannot be a good human, and if you are a good human, you cannot be a good Muslim, because Islam is anonymous to the humanity. And this is why Jihad is a theory which was propagated by Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companion due to their vested interest. They want to pound the grease to the new people, because Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companion was very interested to increase the number of the Muslim at that time. The numbers of increasing of the Muslims were in favor of the Prophet Muhammad Sahib, because the prime aim of the Prophet as his companions was to crush the all Jewish tribes. There are so many tribes as Banu Nadir, Banu Awas, Banu Qurayza, Banu Quraysh, uh, Banu Khazraj. So many tribes were, all tribes were Jews, and in the Arab Peninsula there was the Jewish a majority. But after inception of Islam, this majority shrinked in only 100 years, and the Muslim were in majority all over the Arabian Peninsula and Arabian country, due to the killing of the Jews and forcibly conversion of Jews and Zoroastrians into Islam, and such type of treacherous work committed by these all invaders, Mughals, Aurangzeb, and so many, Khilji, Altatmas. So these rap concept came to India with these Islamic invaders. Even you see in all the history of the our Indian society, there was no word of rap. There is no word of rap or forcefully sex. So I would like to say that those countries which are Islamic countries, where there is no humanity lies among the Islamic dictatorship countries, they have no right to discuss about the humanity and intolerance in India, because they are very intolerant by their Islamic doctrine. But India is not intolerant due to the Sanatan Vedic culture, and the Sanatan Vedic culture is totally tolerant to all the creatures, human beings, even the natures, ridges, mountains, rivers, uh, trees, shrubs and herbs. We, the Sanatani, always respects for the creatures and natures both, because both are the living organism. So Sanatan Dharma is the only religion that respect the natures and creatures both. This is why the first fight, we have to fight this jihad combinedly with those Muslims, which are not happy with this Islamic doctrine of violence. So it is our duty how to defeat this jihad or this Islamic terrorism. It is not a easy task, but not a impossible task, because the numbers of non-Muslims are more than the Muslims. But it means that this doesn't mean that we are against the Muslim. No, we are with the Muslims. We are only against the jihadist theory or Islamic terrorist theory or terrorism. And we want to all the Muslims must come out from this cocoon of Islamic doctrine of violence and virtuality and treacherousness. In the last, I would like to say, certainly we will fight against this Islamic terrorism, and ultimate winner will we will be ultimate winner, because always trustness and kindness always wins, and the killings of the Kaffirs and bloodbath and rapists can never win this war. Okay, good night. Thank you. I hope you will subscribe my channel, and please put the bell icon so every notification you will get well in time. Thank you very much, and thank you for seeing my old videos. Thank you very much. See you. Thank you.